Now, last few things we talked about your childhood, your medical education, your entry into UK, how you sort of conquered the surgery part, how you sort of established yourself as a scientist, achieved all the big milestones, the publications, the BJUI, and now the big responsibility. But I know, friends, Prokar has many other wonderful sort of attractions. I would say I was just trying to find a word, but he has a liking. That's the word. He has a liking for two important things. One is
Switches out there,
cricket,
replacing
and
Dujon,
we can
who
talk
went for
and
the
hours
straight
and
drive.
hours. And I
Marked the
remember,
straight
I
drive.
think
I'd
during
say
the
he must hit
pandemic
the
time
ball.
when the India was
It
touring
went out
England,
towards wood
I
and
think
mid
this
on,
is
and
where
pretty
you actually took
straightforward
time
catch for
off,
him.
and the spectators were not there, and you actually watched the cricket
Certainly
here.
gave the impression
So
that he was
tell
trying
me
to lift it,
something about
and
it.
it was
Is it
straight
from
down through to
India?
the mid
You
on
have
field.
this sort of passion for cricket,
So
and
the
which team you
partnership
bet
there
on,
broken
India or,
by
or,
that
or
shot.
England team?
The second question I will not answer because both teams have done terribly, haven't they, in the recent Test series, and particularly embarrassed about the thrashing received by both teams, and Virat Kohli then making a decision to step aside, and of course the 4-0 thrashing in the Ashes for England. This is Lord's Cricket Ground. I live 5 minutes away from it. And in fact, there are two landmarks here. One is Lord's Cricket Ground, and the other is the studio with the famous crossing of the Beatles. So I literally live 5 minutes from each of these landmarks, and every time I go home, I see tourists walking across the Pelican Crossing and having their photographs, just like the Beatles did at Abbey Road Studios. So this is Lord's, and this is clearly a passion. The other passion that I have is of tennis, and my wife and I share that passion. We Before COVID, we were almost every month seen courtside at some international tournament because that's what we love doing, and we are huge fans of Roger Federer, but of course, fundamentally, we are tennis fans, and whether it's a game of cricket at Lord's or at the Oval, or whether it is a game of tennis at Wimbledon or in Paris. Currently, as you know, the Australian Open is going on with much controversy. But we've been there. We've been to every Grand Slam and other tournaments, and this is a passion. We love it. You need to have something else, I think, outside of what you do, because otherwise you just lose your mind. So I love it, and I'm continuing to enjoy it.
So sports is one thing, and what about this? This is a picture taken from my garden just recently, and it looks like you started enjoying those. And I
Yes,
received wonderful sort of pictures from your garden as well. So do you also
correct.
have a passion for gardening and flowers?
Correct. So the passion, I know you send me these beautiful, beautiful pictures, Makarand. Thank you so much for sharing them. And I look forward to receiving them almost every weekend. And, you know, uh, India is in bloom now. Your garden is in bloom. Of course, this is winter here in the UK, so there are very few flowers. But then spring will come, and the whole garden will explode. Whether it is in our square in London, as I said, near Abbey Road Studios and the Lord's Cricket Ground, or whether it is in our own garden in Sussex, which is where you receive those beautiful, beautiful images from. So we are very lucky, and flowers, I mean, there's nothing like nature, isn't it? And it brings into sharp focus the fact that even as surgeons, we now need to start thinking green. We as surgeons and anesthetists are putting in a massive carbon footprint, which nature doesn't like. So we need to, I think, do our bit to look at these flowers, look at nature, and do our best to protect it.
That's the precise thing I did during the pandemic time. I was not allowed to go out and travel. We had a wonderful garden, but I never realized, what treasure we had. And for 2 years now, I started learning everything about it. And I can tell you, It has made me much younger and much more thing to think about, and so many things we can learn from such a wonderful nature. Now, there are a lot of young doctors who are watching this program, Prokar. Your excellent career, the achievements what you have so far, a young doctor, maybe in India, maybe in UK, maybe any part of the world, want to emulate. He just want to follow your footsteps. So, what sort of a mantra, what sort of advice you would like to give to young doctors to succeed the way in which you have succeeded?
I say three things, and success means different things to different people on Makarand. So, but the principles are the same. So the first is, do not be afraid to dream big. What's the worst that can happen? Your dreams won't come true. But if you haven't dreamt, then it doesn't matter. So do not be afraid to dream. Second, always do your best. Yeah, that's all you can do. Do not be worried about the consequences, because often things will not go right. I described to you the story of resiniferatoxin. Yeah? I have had many downturns in my life. I don't want to just project it as a series of success stories. Of course not. I've had my failures. But do your best. Do your best. And the third is, be kind to others and learn from them. So whenever I meet someone else, I always try to learn something from them, because each individual will bring something that can inspire you. And I try to use that to better myself every day. I have always felt that the greater joy for me is seeing other people succeed. As I said, I run my life like a startup. I have surrounded myself with the best people. I learn from them. I support people, and I've done so internationally, as you know, a number of people to chairs. It's a privilege to be supporting them. And I find learning from other people and seeing them succeed gives me more joy, because I just can't be bothered and be interested in myself. In fact, I honestly find myself quite boring and tedious, but seeing others succeed and learning from them is my third mantra. So those are the three. Do your best, learn from others, and do not be afraid to dream big.
Wonderful, wonderful piece of advice, Prokar. And only I can say that we're Indian at heart, we're global in spirits. Now, towards we come to, I keep on thinking now, Corona or pandemic has given us a lot of food for thought. We get some free time. And as we reach the late 50s and entering the early 60s, we all, contemporaries, we keep on thinking what we have done so far, what we have achieved so far. But sometimes you start asking yourself, have you done right things? What I have achieved? And who am I? I came on this planet to do something better, to make this planet better. Now, we all know what we have achieved, but I'm sure, like me, you also introspect from time to time. Don't look at the text, what is on that side, that's on the website. But honestly speaking, Prokar, you tell me who you are. Are you a philosopher, a thinker, or only a surgeon and scientist, and the philosophy has come just by side of that? Your views, Prokar.
Fundamentally, Makarand, I'm a surgeon, scientist, and educator. Yep. I have been lucky to have had wonderful colleagues and wonderful students around me. My students really, really inspire me, and the philosophy of life is something I learned from my students, believe me. Whether they are BSc students, I've educated 300 of these, whether they are my trainees, whether they are consultants who are coming to learn from me. So I find that hugely inspirational, and I remain humble that I can learn from them. So the philosophy in life comes from them. I'm also very lucky that I have a supportive family, whether it be my parents, my extended family, my wife, my godchild. I mean, I'm very lucky, and I have friends like you. So my final thoughts are, in all this, I think a healthy body leads to a healthy mind. As you know, one of my passions is marathon running. It has become very difficult during the pandemic. This is something I started in 2008. And I tried to run a marathon a year. Now that's extreme sport. It can't continue forever. But, I have worked very hard on trying to stay healthy. And I think that leads to a healthy mind. So ignoring the body can sometimes lead to problems of philosophy, of thought process, and performance. So who am I? In the end, if you, someone said to me, what would you want written on your gravestone? This is a real question, yeah? And I said, I doubt very much that anyone will be beside my gravestone. And if I did have a gravestone, I mean, I couldn't be bothered, I'd be bothered. If I did have a gravestone, I would just leave it blank. It's not about me. It's about having a good time and helping others, whether it's to my patients, my students, or having a really good life. So that's what I'm about. I'm simple, I'm grounded, and I intend to remain so. So that's me.
That's wonderful. That's what I expected from you, Prokar. Wonderful thought. This is a saying in India, friends. Dil mange more. Dil means heart. So we all friends of Prokar. We want some more and more from Prokar, and that was one of the sort of the reason I wanted to take you through the journey of Professor Prokar Dasgupta on the occasion of he getting decorated with Padma Shri Award. Bengal is one part of India which I am always fascinated with. A land of Tagore, land of Nobel laureates, land of intellectuals, and a wonderful culture. In fact, the entire India, you go to different parts of the world, you will be fascinated how the people are so wonderful, so educated, so cultured, and always wanted to give something to this planet in during lifetime. Prokar, Nobel Prize. In India, I think the Nobel Prize has been won consistently by the Bengalis. You are Bengali, and Dil Mange Mo says, next time I want to interview Prokar, it would be for the Nobel Prize. Prokar, it was wonderful. Thank you for sparing time. Just pardon my enthusiasm. Just a couple of days ago, when I heard about this news, I had this diehard ambition that I must catch hold of Prokar, take everybody through the wonderful journey Prokar has. And I'm sorry if I overstep few things, but it was really nice that you spared time and educated each and everyone who's watching this program. Thank you, Prokar. And last few words from you. Over to you.
Thank you, Makarand. I mean, what can I say? It is wonderful to receive the Padma Award. I can't believe it. I'm still pinching myself. For the last 3 days, I've been waking up and I thought it must be dreaming. But actually, that is absolutely true. I thank the President of India. It's always very difficult to be honored by your own country. So I feel that this is a real achievement. And this one, Makarand, is for my students. It really is. They inspire me, and without them, I would really be nobody. I thank you, Makarand. You yourself are an inspirational figure, a wonderful cancer surgeon. You are a big name in the world. And I'm so grateful that you took the time and reached out for this interview. So thank you so much, and I wish you well.
My pleasure, Prokar. Thank you.